So I am somebody who does a lot of writing and a lot of journaling in particular. I'm not writing like a novel. I'm mostly recording thoughts, experiences, remembrances, and I want to tell you about some of them. So let's dive in. Oh, hi. Did it work? That must mean it worked. Okay, so I just got this new one, the 5 Minute Journal, which I'd heard about for actually a couple of years, and finally was like, all right, like I want to give it a shot. This one has actually some sort of psychology behind, psychological research, I'll say, behind the methods used and why it's got a specific structure, specific things that you try to write each day, and that you're writing at two different times of the day. So this one is really it's structured. So like each page is just going to be, you do one day, and then you come back in the evening and do this little evening part. So it's really, really quick. It's meant to take less than 5 minutes. So I'm excited to do that because it's specifically recording things like gratitude, what you're looking forward to, how the day went. So it's really like purpose-based journaling. I've been keeping another, a variety of Moleskine journals. This I consider more of like a diary would be its more formal definition, but it's not really like, dear diary, today a cute girl smiled at me. I'll record those kinds of things when they happen, but this is more of I'd say it's a log is probably the most accurate way to say. And I was like, yesterday, I got up at this time and I felt pretty good, and I did my writing and I went for a run, and then this happened and this happened and this happened. So it's really just like sort of a record. And this has been really fun because I've been keeping this every single day for 5.5 years now. And I've been able to go back and read some of those old ones, or actually even look things up sometimes. I'm like, man, like what was that thing that happened? Or what day was that happened? So it's been a really cool record for that. It takes up a lot of space on my shelf though, and I've spent a lot of money on Moleskines, but these things are fantastic. Another one that I've been doing for over a year now this is just plain one of these. It's called the Morning Pages, which comes from You Do It in the Morning. And it's out of the Artist's Way book by Julia Cameron. Basically, you write 1, 2, 3 pages every single morning that's meant to be just like purely stream of consciousness, whatever. You just write what's going on in your head. You're not thinking about it. You're not editing it. If you misspell something, you don't go back and fix it. You just write, and you're meant to like completely unedited. Nobody else is ever going to read this, so you can say and do whatever you want. I started that practice when I did the Artist's Way program. Oh, actually, it's almost a year and a half now. I think I started it in September of 2017. And it takes a couple months to finish. I should probably go back and do it again. It was a really worthwhile exercise. And through this specific practice, I know that I've come up with video ideas. I've written little short stories. I've written poems. There was one day that I literally had just like 3 pages of just almost like word association, but sort of trying to rhyme different things. And it would morph. I'd start with like wind and blah, blah, blah. And I'd end up, it was a really fun exercise. But there's no prompt or anything. It's just literally like, what am I thinking about? So I actually end up writing a lot of my dreams in here. Again, it's not meant to be a dream log or a dream journal, but that's just kind of how it ends up happening. And then this is the last one that I still write in. I got this over a year ago, but just started utilizing it. This one's really more just fun. And it's called the Me Journal, a questionnaire keepsake. And it's basically filled with like, just random questions about yourself. Like, what did I just do? One it was like list your favorite actors, actresses, and then least favorite out of both of those. Like here, this page is sort of relationships. How many times have you been cheated on? Someone you flirt with on a regular basis. Your most favorite appliance, your least favorite college class, your favorite doctor, your least favorite social media site. I am inspired by. Today I spoke to. List all of the people you exchanged words with today. So this one's just kind of fun, and I basically just do a couple of pages at the end of my journaling. It takes just a few minutes, and they're just kind of fun things to think about. Oh, and then I also do this isn't really writing, but I got started on this practice last year called a happiness jar, where every day you write, you take a little note card and you write something about the day that made you happy, or that brought you happiness, or anything related to, like, even if you had a really, really, really crappy, really bad, awful, terrible day, let's find some piece of that day that did bring you a little bit of happiness or a little bit of a smile. And it's helping to train your brain to recognize that. So like this one was from 2 days ago, experimenting with my first lyric video. I was working on making music videos. That's something I'm interested in. And I made a lyric video and actually had a lot of fun with it. And I felt really good about it. So this is actually my second year doing this one. I still have my first jar from last year that, I don't know, I might make a scrapbook or something out of it. But anyways, that's my journaling practice. I'm curious if other people do. Like, this takes me a while. Some days it's close to, if not over an hour to do all of this writing, if I'm really distracted or not focused, or if I just have a lot to write. Other days it's like 30 or 40 minutes, but that's about as short as it can be. But it's a good centering practice for me in the morning. It's typically the very first thing I do after I kind of get out of bed and go to the bathroom, brush my teeth and get my contacts in. Then I sit down and do my writing. And I do get frustrated particularly when I'm traveling, since it does take me this extra time. If I have a flight that leaves at like 6 a.m., it's really hard to get up the extra early enough to still be able to do this. But I'll usually just end up writing on the plane if I do something like that. So anyways, that's my journaling experience. I've been doing it for a long time now, and I picture that this is a lifelong practice for me. Some varying combinations, maybe not all of these all the time, but some kind of a morning writing practice. So that's a little bit about me.